Welcome back, guys. Got Ducati Multistrada here with suspension issues. We're going to have a look, see if we can resolve this problem. Here's a Multistrada. So, customer's brought this in. He's had these stanchions taken off, re-chromed, but that didn't come out very well. It's really difficult to see on the camera. He brought some other ones in. You can just see that these have got marks on them as well. These are no better, really. So trying to find these tubes has been really difficult. Trying to find a chroma that's any good locally, that's even more difficult. So he's managed to find another replacement tube, but it's for the other side, the left side, but we needed a right side one. So plan is to get the other tube is unscrewed out from here, swap this over with the tube and put this suspension back together. So this is one of the original tubes we had. You can see all the marks on the tube there. What this was doing was damaging the seal, making it leak. So we have another replacement one here. Now what we need to do is we need to unscrew this from this end and swap it over with this one. But these are super tight in here and you need a special tool to get them out. So we don't have the special tool, so I've got to make a special tool. So I've got the next door engineer to cut one of these box sections off for me, which fits beautifully inside this. And as you can see, we have some holes here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark this up, put 4 holes in, so we can go into these four. There are 4 holes there. See, the holes are all the way around. And then I'm going to put some bolts in here which will go into these holes, so they'll be twisted like this. And then I'm going to make some bars. We'll clamp this end into the vise. We'll use a tool to see if we can unscrew this shaft. I need to mark this up before I drill it. And one of my hobbies is woodworking, so I have a lot of woodworking tools as well, which do come in handy. So this is a little wood scriber, but it will scribe this just fine, so I just need to put a small mark in there so I know where I'm going to drill it. So I'm going to roughly get halfway, lock this up, so I roughly get a centre. I want to try and be as centre as possible, so when I try and put it onto this, I'm somewhere close. Okay, I've got the marks pretty much centre. So now I'll drill those holes. I'll probably drill them at 7 so I can tap them to an 8. I've got an automatic centre punch. Just going to put a dimple in the centre so I know where to drill. I drilled a 3mm hole in there with the hand drill. Made life a bit easy for me. And now I'm just going to finish it off with a 7mm drill bit, and it should give me enough to tap it to 8x125. Now that I've made a straight start, it's a good chance this will go in straight all the way. Okay, the piece is made. So you can see we've tapped it. I've put these lock nuts on there so that we can pinch those off once the bolts are in. So when you twist it, you've got that substantial area to keep it sturdy, to stop the bolts from twisting in the hole. I've got this bar. I'm going to cut it in half, stick it across corner to corner for 2 handles. So I'll be cut in the middle, so I'll go out quite a bit. So I should be able to get some good leverage on there. So I get a disc cutter on that, cut that in half. I'll whiz it next door because the welder's there, and get those welded onto the ends. There we go, bars are welded on, one tool made. But will it work? Let's give it a try. Right, so we're going to start with this one because this one's already damaged. Don't want to damage the new one. Let's see if we can get that one out first. There's a little grub screw in here. I've already taken this one out. So I'm going to clamp this into the jaws of the vise and then put my tool on the end and see if we can unscrew this. I've just been over to my scrap metal bin. I had some sheets of alley there, so I've cut some bits off, angled them, so I can clamp this in the vise without damaging it. Okay, see if it works. Well, that definitely worked. So I think the one that's leaking on the other leg, it's leaking, it's also pitted. I think the seal may have gone on the other one. So this is one of those ones that he had replaced. So we haven't got the one off the bike just yet. I wanted to make sure this worked before I went through the effort of taking the leg off. the vice in the other workshop just kept moving, so I'm going to try it in this one. Okay, this tube is no good. This is what we want. So now I'm going to get the other tube, which is in good condition, unscrew that and put it into this one. Load of corrosion on that. It gave me a workout. Okay, I'll get that cleaned up and then we'll swap it with this one. Well, I can see what the problem was. Where this little grub screw goes in, it actually meets the thread. If you have a look on there, you can see it's put a little dimple in there. What it was doing, it was trying to cross thread its way out. It's a bit difficult to see in there, but the thread's slightly damaged now. We're not using that anyway, so it's not too bad. Everything's salvageable. Now I've got some thread files, we should have that pitch on there, so I'll just file that back out so we've got a proper thread, and then we'll screw it back in. Okay, so this is my thread file. I have just filed it. It still looks like there's a dimple in there, but the threads are lined up now, so they should screw in better. It's difficult to tell on the camera, but it's all good. So I've put a little bit of grease on there so we don't damage the rubber as it goes in, and I've put a little bit on the thread as well. Okay, had a bit of a snag. This tube the customer got me, he bought it as just a tube, as you saw. Now it's very difficult to see 2mm. It's 2mm too small. But along with everything he's given me with this bike, he's also given me one of these, which is the right one for the bike. Actually, it's the right one for the right side as well. It's a black tube. It's missing the rest of the inserts of the fork, which I already have over there. So I'm going to strip this one and put the tube from the other fork that we stripped onto this one and get it back on the bike, because we need to get it back on the road for the customer. There's no marks on this one. This one's absolutely clean. The only downside is it's just going to look odd because one's black and one's chrome. Sometimes we just have to deal with the cars we're given, and that's what he's going to have. Okay, the fork is back on, black chrome. To be fair, from the front you can't even tell. We've had the nose cone off because the customer wanted some of the trims replaced to Pikes Peak colour scheme. We've also got the ECU out because the customer wants it remapped. It's got a different exhaust on there, so my remapping kit's all set up. I just need to get some of the cables, link it from here to the ECU and go through the process of remapping it. Okay, it's all set up. Just reading the ECU so we can get a backup file for it. You can do these with plug and play. You can plug into the actual bike with the OBD cable and remap them that way, but the only downside with that is you don't get a full read off the ECU, so if something goes wrong you don't have the original file to put back on there. You can get an ID, it is remappable, but you've got that danger of not being able to recover it without the original file. So we tend to do it this way, just with the bench wires, get a full read off it so we have a backup. So this is going to give us about 12 horsepower gain. Generally in the midsection you really feel it, but you will have top end horsepower as well. Where vehicles are tuned for mid-range economy, that this sort of gets rid of that dead spot in the centre of the rev range. Okay, we've got the remap in progress now. File is loading, so once it's done, go back on the bike, quick scan, road test. All done. Writing successfully completed. Ready to go back on the bike. Okay, it's all done, road tested, actually goes really well. We changed this fork as well to black because he had a spare black one. He didn't want odd chrome and black, so that's done. I haven't done a video on that because it's just a tube swap, as you saw. It's in the Pikes Peak colours now. It's ready to go back to the customer. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed that video of this Ducati Multistrada shocks, well, headache with shocks. As always, if you enjoy these videos, hit the like button, subscribe and bell notifications to be notified next time I upload a video. Take care guys.